heck is
Who
that?
puts broccoli on pizza?
That's it. I'm done.
Congratulations, San Francisco. You've ruined pizza.
Well, Grandma, what did you think of Inside Out?
I thought it was the most imaginative thing I've seen on screen in a long time. The kudos, I think, should go to the imagination of the writers, the ones who came up with the idea.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, the animation is perfect. You know, because you have this. It's a Pixar Studios, right?
Right.
Yeah. So you know it's going to be top of the line animation, so they were good. But I thought it was extremely imaginative and very, very clever. What did you think?
What did I think?
Yeah.
Well, it's again as you point out, it shows a lot of imagination. Unfortunately, I was not overall as impressed with it as perhaps you were. I thought the setup was really good, and I thought the sort of emotional payoff at the end was undeniable. But I thought a lot of the sort of journey in the middle.
The joy and sadness.
Yeah, I mean, that I thought had some problems. I thought that a lot of the jokes and such they were trying to tell weren't very funny. And then I also thought that the writers in telling this story were trying to, in a way, do a little teaching about the structure of the mind and how the mind worked and all that sort of stuff. Because they would talk about, well, this is the subconscious, this is and this is the short-term memory and long-term memory, and then they got into actually even more detail than that, and on about how these different parts of the brain work.
The imagination.
But again, how the different parts of the brain work and things like that. And I thought that wasn't actually all that necessary for this movie to work. You didn't have to go into any sort of detail about what they were doing, as long as it was entertaining. And because it wasn't, I didn't think all that funny a lot of the time. That middle part, I just don't think worked as well as the beginning and the end. One other thing that I think that it could have really used was a little more of showing some of those memories. They would just
the ones inside the memory balls.
Yeah, I mean they had at the beginning a bit of a setup and a bit of a sort of a flashback on what her life was like in Minnesota, and again how she grew up and that sort of thing. I just personally think they could have used more of that for you to really understand the characters, where they were coming from, how much these things meant to her. It's one thing to say that these memories mean something to her. It's another thing to show that these memories mean something to her, and that they didn't do.
As much as you thought they should.
Yeah, I mean, for them to hold this memory and say, "Oh, this is a really good one. She really was enjoyed this time, or she was feeling this way, or whatever." That's one thing. But again, for you to feel something for the characters, I thought it would have been better to actually experience some of these memories, or at least experience those with the audience. And as a result, again, while the film, I think, was, again, it had a real emotional payoff at the end, it could have been even more if you really understood these characters better.
I thought that it was sort of hard to show the emotion if they had two stories going on, sort of, because it was like the brain and the actual girl. That's what I have to
mean, her life that she was experiencing, and
outside and inside.
Outside and inside. You needed to be one or the other, is what you were saying?
No, like, it was just, you were complaining about, like, the character development.
Mm-hmm.
But there's, like, 2 stories going on, so.
Well, that's true. That's true. Amy, what do you think?
It was good.
What?
It was good.
It was good? Okay. Well, Grandma, what do you have anything more to say? What do you think? What do you think about what I had to say? I went on a little too much there, I'm afraid.
Well, I think you made some valid observations about it. I was trying to remember when I was watching the movie how I felt when I was 11.
Mm-hmm.
And I was uprooted from where I was, and my family, moved to totally different. We moved from Texas to Japan. Now you can imagine
So it's sort of similar.
totally different environment.
But I mean, her situation is sort of similar.
Yes, but what kept me happy, or kept me content anyway, was family. Wherever the family went,
Mm-hmm.
that was my island. My family island was what was really, really important. So even though it was a totally different, I was sheltered by the family island,
Mm-hmm.
so it wasn't as frightening as it could have been, or as upsetting. Fear didn't have, he didn't have much to do in my brain, because I was really not afraid. I had my family to take care of me, no matter where we were.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I didn't, as an 11-year-old, have enough sense to be afraid at the difference in where we were going. It was a big adventure.
Mm-hmm.
So I did think about my own experience as an 11-year-old. I had different reaction to being, in this new environment. I wasn't as uprooted as Riley, our heroine, felt. She'd been totally uprooted from all her comfortable environment. But I thought it was very well done and very imaginative. I would recommend that people see it. Yes.
Me too.
You would recommend it? Amy, what about you?
I would recommend it.
You would? Okay.
Okay, that's 3 votes for. What do you say, Papa?
Well, I mean, I would recommend it. I just think that it could have been better. There were, after setting it up with an interesting concept, they missed some opportunities that I thought they